Someone you trust is stealing your sanity, and you're helping them do it. Your boss owns your thoughts. Your mother controls your emotions. And you're sitting there like a good little puppet, believing it's all your choice. Wake up. Every opinion you think is yours was planted. Every boundary you think you set was negotiated away. Every time you said, "Maybe I'm overreacting," you just handed over another piece of your soul to someone who's been collecting them like trophies. You want to know what's really sick? You're defending them right now. In your head, you're making excuses. It's not that bad. They don't mean it. I'm probably just sensitive. Stop. That voice defending them, that's not you talking. That's their programming. Here's what nobody tells you about emotional manipulation. It doesn't target the weak. It targets the strong, the empathetic, the intelligent. Because weak people break too easily. Strong people bend. And bending is profitable. Your compassion is their weapon. Your intelligence is their playground. Your desire to be reasonable is the rope they use to hang you with. They don't want to destroy you. That would be wasteful. They want to harvest you. Use your energy to fuel their ego. Use your doubt to confirm their superiority. Use your apologies to build their throne. And the most twisted part, they've convinced you it's love. That person who makes you question your memory, doubt your feelings, apologize for existing. They don't love you. They love owning you. There's a difference, and it's time you learned it. You think you're in a relationship. You're actually in a psychological experiment. You think you're having conversations. You're actually being programmed. You think you're making choices. You're actually following a script they wrote. Every fight ends with you apologizing. Every disagreement becomes about your character flaws. Every boundary you try to set gets twisted into evidence of your selfishness. This isn't accidental. This isn't because they have anger issues or communication problems. This is strategy. This is warfare. And you've been losing because you didn't even know you were fighting. Right now, your brain is split in two. Half of it knows I'm right. The other half is screaming that I'm wrong, that you're different, that your situation is special. Guess which half they installed? The person destroying your life has convinced you they're saving it. The person stealing your identity has you believing they're helping you find yourself. The person breaking you down has you grateful for the reconstruction. That's not love. That's not even human. That's predatory. And if you can't see it, it's because they don't want you to. But here's what they never counted on. Someone telling you exactly how they do it. Their weapon isn't violence. It's confusion. They don't need to hit you when they can make you hit yourself. They don't need to break you when they can make you break yourself. They don't need to lie to you when they can make you lie to yourself. The weapon is called gaslighting, and it's surgical precision psychological warfare. Here's how they do it. First, they attack your memory. That never happened. You're remembering it wrong. I never said that. They'll say it with such confidence, such certainty, that you start questioning your own brain. Then they attack your emotions. You're too sensitive. You're overreacting. You're being dramatic. They don't just dismiss your feelings. They make your feelings the problem. Finally, they attack your reality. Everyone thinks you're crazy. You're the only one who sees it that way. Maybe you should get help. They isolate you from your own truth until their version becomes the only version that exists. But here's the genius part. They don't do this all at once. They do it slowly, drop by drop, like poison in your coffee. By the time you taste it, you've already swallowed the cup. You know what makes this so effective? You trust them. You wouldn't question someone you don't trust, but someone you love, someone you respect. When they tell you your memory is wrong, you believe them. When they tell you you're being dramatic, you second-guess yourself. Trust is the delivery system. Love is the anesthesia, and while you're busy trying to be understanding, they're busy rewriting your mind. They use your strengths against you. Your empathy becomes you care too much about what other people think. Your intelligence becomes you overthink everything. Your intuition becomes you're paranoid. Every quality that makes you valuable becomes evidence of your instability. And the most brutal part, they make you grateful for the abuse. I'm only telling you this because I care. I'm trying to help you see clearly. Someone needs to tell you the truth. The truth is, they're not helping you see clearly. They're destroying your vision so you can only see through their eyes. This isn't therapy. This isn't tough love. This isn't honesty. This is psychological demolition disguised as construction. They're not building you up. They're breaking you down and rebuilding you in their image. A version of you that never questions, never resists, never says no. You want to know why this works on smart people? Because smart people try to make sense of things. And when nothing makes sense, smart people blame themselves for not understanding. But some things aren't meant to make sense. Some things are meant to make you crazy. Your mind just declared war on itself. Half of your brain knows something's wrong. The other half is fighting to protect the lie. And you're caught in the middle, being torn apart by your own thoughts. This is cognitive dissonance. This is what happens when reality and manipulation collide inside your skull. You know they hurt you, but they also say they love you. You remember what happened, but they swear it didn't. You feel the pain, but they say you're imagining it. Your brain can't process contradictory truths, so it starts cannibalizing itself to make sense of the chaos. Here's where it gets sick. You stop fighting them and start fighting yourself. You become your own interrogator. Did that really happen? Am I being too sensitive? Maybe I am the problem. You're doing their job for them now. They don't need to gaslight you anymore because you're gaslighting yourself. This is the breakdown, not a mental breakdown, a reality breakdown. The foundation of who you are starts cracking, and you're the one holding the sledgehammer. You start editing your memories to match their version. You start suppressing your emotions to avoid their criticism. You start changing your personality to prevent their rage. You're not healing. You're disappearing. Every time you swallow your truth to keep the peace, a piece of you dies. Every time you apologize for their behavior, you lose a little more of yourself. Every time you accept their reality over your own, you become less real. They've turned you into a ghost haunting your own life. You look in the mirror and don't recognize the person staring back. Where did your fire go? Where did your opinions go? Where did your backbone go? Gone. Traded for temporary peace with someone who was never going to give you lasting peace anyway. This is identity erosion. This is psychological murder. They're killing who you are and replacing you with who they need you to be. And the most twisted part? You're grateful for it. You think this confusion, this self-doubt, this constant second-guessing is growth. You think becoming smaller is becoming better. You think losing yourself is finding yourself. But here's what they don't want you to know. That voice in your head that keeps whispering something's wrong. That's not paranoia. That's not oversensitivity. That's not mental illness. That's your soul screaming for help. That's the real you, trapped under layers of their programming, fighting to break free. And it's about to teach you something that will change everything. The moment you realize you've been played, everything changes. It happens fast. 1 second you're making excuses for them. The next second you see the pattern. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Every apology you made, every time you questioned yourself, every moment you thought you were crazy, it all clicks into place like a puzzle you never knew you were solving. This is the awakening. and it's violent. Your brain floods with rage. Not at them first, at yourself. How could you be so blind? How could you let this happen? How could someone so smart fall for something so obvious? But here's the truth. You weren't stupid. You were human. You trusted someone who weaponized your trust. You loved someone who monetized your love. You believed someone who made lying an art form. That's not weakness. That's being human in a world full of predators. But some people never wake up. They live their entire lives in the fog, defending their abuser, protecting their prison, grateful for their chains. What's the difference between those who wake up and those who don't? Pain tolerance. The people who stay asleep can tolerate infinite pain as long as it comes with the promise of love. The people who wake up reach a breaking point where the pain becomes louder than the promise. Your breaking point was probably small. Maybe they dismissed something that mattered to you. Maybe they rewrote a memory one too many times. Maybe they made you apologize for something you didn't do. And suddenly, you heard how insane the words sounded coming out of your mouth. That's when your survival instinct kicked in. Not the physical one, the psychological one. The part of you that refuses to disappear completely. Your soul staged a coup against your programming. And for the first time in months, maybe years, you stopped asking, "What did I do wrong?" and started asking, "What are they doing to me?" That question changes everything. Because once you start investigating them instead of prosecuting yourself, the evidence becomes overwhelming. The patterns become undeniable. The truth becomes inescapable. You realize this wasn't love. This was consumption. You weren't being cherished. You were being consumed. You weren't being improved. You were being diminished. And something inside you that they thought they'd killed forever starts to stir. Your anger, your boundaries, your sense of self. You're about to remember who you were before they told you who to be. Now you fight back, but not the way they expect. They're waiting for you to explode. They're prepared for tears, arguments, emotional meltdowns. That's their territory. That's where they win. You're going to do something they never saw coming. You're going to get calm, cold, calculated. First weapon, silence. Stop explaining yourself. Stop defending your reality. Stop trying to make them understand. When they gaslight you, don't argue, just stare. Let the silence hang there like a noose around their lies. That never happened. Silence. You're being dramatic. Silence. I never said that. Silence. Watch them squirm. Manipulators need your reaction to feed on. Take away their food and watch them starve. Second weapon, the broken record. Pick one phrase and repeat it until they break. I disagree. No matter what they say, no matter how they twist it, no matter how they try to drag you into their maze of bullshit. I disagree. They'll rage. They'll manipulate. They'll try every trick in their playbook. I disagree. Keep saying it until they realize their power is gone. Third weapon, the mirror. Everything they accuse you of, they're guilty of. When they call you crazy, say, "I think you're projecting." When they call you dramatic, say, "That sounds like something a dramatic person would say." Turn their weapons against them. Fourth weapon, the gray rock. Become boring. Give them nothing to work with. One-word answers. No emotions, no reactions, no drama. They'll escalate. They'll try harder. They'll become more desperate. But you'll become more powerful. Because the secret they don't want you to know is this. They need you more than you need them. They need your energy, your attention, your emotional investment. Without it, They're just empty shells screaming into the void. Fifth weapon, the exit strategy. Start planning your escape. Financially, emotionally, physically. Don't announce it. Don't threaten it. Just do it. Open your own bank account, find your own place, build your own support system. Quietly, methodically, like the predator you're about to become. Sixth weapon, the truth. Start telling other people what's happening. They've convinced you that you're crazy, that no one will believe you, that it's a secret between you two. Bullshit. Tell your friends. Tell your family. Tell a therapist. Tell anyone who will listen. Manipulators thrive in darkness. Drag them into the light. The moment you stop being their victim and start being their opponent, the game changes. You're not trying to save the relationship anymore. You're trying to save yourself. And yourself is worth saving. You're about to become someone they never saw coming. The person you were before they got their hands on you. Gone. The person you were while they were breaking you down. Dead and buried. The person you're becoming now. They have no idea what they've created. You're not going back to who you were. You're evolving into who you were always meant to be. This is your rebirth, and it's going to be violent. Every boundary they crossed is now a wall they can never climb. Every lie they told is now a truth you can never unhear. Every time they made you doubt yourself is now a source of unshakable certainty. You're not healing, you're upgrading. Your new superpower. You can smell bullshit from 3 counties away. Your new skill? You can spot manipulation before it even starts. Your new weapon? You know exactly how predators think because you've been inside one's mind. They accidentally gave you X-ray vision for human nature. You see through fake apologies. You recognize love bombing before the first compliment lands. You can identify gaslighting in real time and shut it down before it takes root. You've become immune to their poison. But here's the beautiful part. You're not just immune to them. You're immune to all of them. Every future manipulator who tries to target you is going to hit a brick wall where your spine used to be. You trust yourself now. Not perfectly, not completely, but enough. When your gut says run, you run. When your instincts say no, you say no. When your heart says this feels wrong, you listen. You've learned the most important lesson of your life. Your feelings are not up for debate. Your reality is not a democracy. Your boundaries are not suggestions. Your worth is not determined by how well you serve other people's egos. You're rebuilding yourself from the ground up, not the weak, desperate, approval-seeking version they created. The original you, the real you, the you that was too powerful for them to handle, so they had to break you down to manageable pieces. But you're not manageable anymore. You're dangerous now. Dangerous to anyone who tries to control you. Dangerous to anyone who tries to manipulate you. Dangerous to anyone who thinks they can treat you like a toy. You know what you won't tolerate. You know what you deserve. You know who you are. And you're never giving that knowledge away again. This is your rebirth. This is your revolution. This is your revenge. Not against them. Against the version of yourself that used to accept less than you deserved. That person is dead. You forgot it. Welcome to your new life.